I want to thank the members and officers of the Institutional and Behavioral Economics section. I really appreciate being named as a fellow of the section. I thought I would start with a little history. A number of years ago, when the meetings were in Manhattan, that was back when we still met at college campuses, the officers hoped to open up the program a bit, and they offered the opportunity for anyone to offer what was called a free session. You could do it on any topic, and they would note it in the program. I seized that opportunity to have a program of institutional and behavioral economics. And we continued using that free session opportunity for quite a number of years. Then the forward-looking people in the section, or I shouldn't say it wasn't a section yet, seized the opportunity when sections were offered and organized one for institutional behavioral economics. I congratulate them, and I'm very much wanting to congratulate all of you for supporting that effort. And as I understand it, this section is one of the largest in the association. I know that this is a business meeting and you didn't ask me to present a paper, but I have to say something just a little bit new and substantive about institutional economics. First, I want to note that institutional economics, I think, is on the rise. Evidence for this is in the number of Nobel Prizes awarded to institutional economists in the last number of years, especially last year. I want to do a little bit of institutional economics for you today. I want to address the recession that we seem to be mired in. Certainly the business cycle cannot be explained without some attention to behavioral phenomena. The factories haven't rusted. We haven't lost the directions for the technologies. What we have is an inadequate set of institutions that put labor and ideas and resources together. A major part of that is the monetary system. And we have known since Keynes, one of the greatest institutional economists of all times, that when the private sector is discouraged, and that's a behavioral phenomenon, isn't it, and doesn't want to borrow and the banks don't want to lend, then the government is the only way to get the economy moving again. We understand that, but what we don't understand is how to do it without incurring a large national debt. And the size of the national debt is going to be a major issue in the political campaign this fall. We've had beaten into our heads that national debt is a bad thing. But what's bad is not the debt itself, but the way we finance it. By borrowing, incurring a large interest payment obligation. Simply, there is no reason to do it that way. Certainly, if the banks have been given the right, and we need to think of this in terms of property rights, if they've been given the right to create money when they make a new loan, then certainly the Federal Reserve can do it by itself. And in fact, during the recent financial crisis, when they wanted to pump new money into the banking system, they simply added money to the accounts of a number of banks that are kept in the Federal Reserve. That is the Federal Reserve Bank making money without incurring any kind of an interest payment obligation. If they can do it for banks, they can do it for industries and service and schools and hospitals and roads and whatever else would make our economy better. That's my last parting shot to you. Institutions are often rooted in the past, rooted in mythology and downright ignorance. I hope that many of you will lead the way to some better institutions, as many institutionalists have done in the past. I thank you very much again for this naming of me to the Fellow, and I hope you all have great success in the future.